So listening not to respond, but listening to understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please repeat that.
Listening not to respond, but listening to understand.
Hi, everyone. This is Ali Hussein Kassim of Ali Talks Tech. We're back with a super interesting episode of Ali Talks Tech. And my guest today is Caroline Thu. Caroline is an agile coach. She's a senior manager at one of Kenya's leading banks. And I want just to say first, we are on site at one of Kenya's super interesting microfinance banks. Choice Bank decided a couple of years ago that they will go the digital way. So they offer a couple of banking as a service solutions. And I'll be honored to also be talking to him at some point, the CEO of Bonfas. But today, right now, I want to focus on Caroline Thuo. Caroline, how are you?
I'm fine, Ali. How are you?
Great. You must have been super surprised when I reached out to you on LinkedIn.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I always like to look out for interesting colleagues in the industry for us to have a conversation. So relax. Yeah. Let's talk. This is your story. Who is Caroline? What do you currently do? Give us your background, and then we'll go into the stories, the anecdotes, and stuff. Over to you.
Thank you, Ali. Glad you found me interesting. I hope I will not bore the audience. Yeah. So my name is Caroline Thuo. People call me Carol Thuo. Just because in Kenya they joke that if you say Carol per square kilometer, 5 girls will look back and
for real?
Yes, because for some reason
it's a common name.
It's a common name. Okay. Yeah, our parents seem to love it for millennials. Yeah, so my name is Carol Thuo. I am a lover of life, a lover of technology, of the people that I've been blessed to have in my life, and I really enjoy doing new stuff. That's why when you reached out, I did not hesitate. I said yes because I really love new stuff. I love technology, and I'm looking forward to having this session and geeking out about Agile.
Geeking out about Agile.
Yes.
Actually, that's one of the key reasons why I thought a conversation between us would be interesting. Because over the last couple of years, we have seen several companies starting to really rethink the organizational structure around Agile.
Yeah.
Tribes, squads,
yes.
stand-ups, stuff like that. Yeah. Could you just break that down to us and break it down so that my audience, those who may have never heard of Agile and squads and tribes and project management and the difference between Agile and traditional project management, just break it out for us, please.
Okay, and I'm sure any Agile coach or Scrum Master or Agilist listening right now, hearing Ali talking about stand-ups and Agile and squads and tribes, it is a really big milestone for us. We get excited because then that means our country and the environment is catching on to what we are throwing. So I like using the analogy of an African dancer to explain what Agile is. First of all, Agile in the dictionary is all about flexibility. Now, in our African culture, with the exception of a few people, when an African hears a drum beating, they start to sway to the beat of the drum. So agile is much like that beat of a drum.
Oh, wow. I really love that analogy. And
Yes.
I'm hoping that my executive director, Imran, is listening to this because I want an African dancer intersposed into this conversation somewhere.
Yes. So, why I liken it to an African dancer is our environment changes a lot. But when we hear changes in market force, regulatory changes, customers changing their minds about our products and services, that is like the drum beat of an African drum. And as organizations, when you hear that drum beating, are you able to bend without breaking? Or do you try to bend and something breaks? So agile is like dancing to the beat of a drum, making sure that your business has the agility to move and harness that change that comes from the market, from our customers, from ourselves, from our services, from the changing technologies, to make sure that you're ahead of it. You're not breaking when you're meant to be bending and looking good while you do it because you're African.
Wow, that sounds quite interesting. So take that analogy and then give me, before we drill deeper into the other components, and give me a day in the life of Carol at KCB Bank Group.
So I said I love new things. I think the reason I love being an agile coach is because there's no one day that is the same. Yeah, so one day I'm seated with a group of developers and we are brainstorming a solution or something that broke overnight, and we're trying to see how we can creatively resolve it for our customers. The next day I'm with a team that is leading multiple teams, and they're trying to find ways to thrash out the dependencies. So for instance, if I'm building something in team A, and I need something from team B. When do we synchronize? How do we synchronize? Are we speaking the same language? Then the next minute, I am in a training session with maybe a group of retail tellers who have never heard about Agile, and they think Agile is something for headquarters.
So we've now moved from the back office
To the front.
to the front office,
Yes.
facing
Customers.
customers. Now that's on the analog sides,
Yes.
tellers who are still important, very important.
Yes.
So talk to us about that, and then take that same conversation and take it to your mobile app.
So now the people at the front, the ones talking to our customers, are actually the pulse. They're the ones who hear the drum beating. So they're the ones who are hearing from customers, we don't like the way your interface looks. They're the ones who hear from our customers, I am not able to access A, B, C, D. And then they feed it back to the teams that are actually doing the build.
So where's the dancer here?
Where's
the dancer here?
We are all dancing. The
We
whole
are
organization
all
needs to dance.
Wow.
In synchrony, so that when the person in retail hears, we don't like your interface, they dance, they move back to a back-end engineer who says they don't like our experience because something is broken behind here. Maybe there's a microservice, there's a accessibility issue, there is a stability issue that we need to fix. So that tune goes right from the retail teller all the way back to the back-end office where people are now fixing things, so that it becomes one team, one effort sort of dance. Yeah. And the tune that we're dancing to here is the customer's tune. That is why the front office people are so important, because they're our eyes and our ears on the ground.
So ultimately, that tune is what the customer hears. When the customer is now dancing flawlessly,
Yes.
and humming to the tune,
Yes.
your customer experience, your back office are all in synchrony.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I have never had that analogy before, Carol.
The
You
analogy
have
of the
expressed it
dancer.
so well. I can see why you are called an agile coach.
Yes, my job is to make sure that the tune we're dancing like an orchestra, yeah? So that everybody is listening to the same customer, hearing the same tune. We are not, the people who dance and you're playing Amapiano music, the person is dancing Tarab. My work is to make sure if the customer is playing Amapiano, we're dancing to Amapiano. So the faster the beat, the faster the moves. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, let's take you back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Let's take you to your days at M-PESA.
Yeah.
Let's speak to, in my humble opinion, one of the most successful technology platforms this part of the world, Daraja.
Yeah.
Speak to me, and please flow with your African beats analogy.
Yeah.
And speak to me how Daraja achieved the phenomenal success it achieves today. I think I heard one of the senior managers at M-PESA a couple of weeks or months ago speak to how 80,000 developers plug onto the portal on a daily basis. Speak to me about that and your role in that.
And I believe the success of Daraja is mainly because the team or the squad and the tribe that was formed to look at that particular area started to look at developers as...
So I'm going to stop you for 1 minute. My apology.
Okay.
I don't want us to go too far without, sort of unpacking the whole structure. Mm-hmm. I know we've talked about the beats but just zero in a bit about the whole structure, the agile, the squads, the tribes, and all that. Yes, please.
Okay.
And then go into the portal conversation.
Okay, so you'd like a picture of what the
Correct.
tribe is and what a squad is.
Correct, for my audience.
Yeah. So when you think about huge organizations, the huger the organization is, the longer decision-making takes, yeah? The longer innovation takes, the longer solving issues takes. So what then Agile comes in to do is to make the organization more nimble. So instead of dealing with issues as a full 12,000 employee organization, you find smaller units of cross-functional people. So for instance, it depends on what you're trying to solve. If it is a customer issue on a payment platform, you bring together the people you would need. So do you need back-end engineers, front-end engineers, customer experience executives, salespeople? If you need those people, put them together in a team. Let them work together daily. Technology people and business people together daily, going towards one vision. So that small cross-functional team that has end-to-end ability to develop and give solutions.
And make decisions.
And make decisions. So they have the autonomy to make decisions. Yeah?
Without those being countermanded at the top.
So to some extent. So within the squad, you have someone called a product owner.
Yes.
That person bears the vision of the squad.
Okay.
So when you think of the CEO of the organization leading 12,000 or maybe 50,000 people, think of a mini CEO or a product vision owner who sits with a team every day and is helping them to align this code that we are building, this platform we are maintaining, this UX that we are drawing. What is it for? Yeah? So that vision is held at that team level. So with that alignment, then you're able to make decisions at a very operational level. So that is what is called a squad. It could be, you could hear things like Scrum teams, Kanban teams.
Yes.
It depends on what way of working is suitable for what work they are doing.
Okay.
So when you have a product owner leading a vision, then you have a Scrum Master who is the equivalent of an Agile coach inside the team.
Okay.
Then you have whoever they need, whether it is business people, technology people, driving towards a certain goal every day.
Okay.
Now think of having multiple squads driving a unilateral vision.
Okay.
Now that becomes a tribe.
It's like microservices.
Yes, like microservices. You need to
Feeding
break down
in.
your platform so that they're nimble enough and they can twist and turn.
Okay.
And when you take one out, you don't break everything else.
Okay.
Just like microservices.
So then those squads fit into?
They fit into a tribe.
Into a tribe.
Yes.
Okay.
And why it's being called a tribe is because they might be you might have a squad dealing with, say, how the customers are onboarded, all the problems they deal with,
Okay.
all the channels they need to deal with.
Okay.
Then another squad dealing with the support of those customers. When it breaks, who deals with it? Then another squad may be dealing with innovating around that space. So all of them are being led by one mission, yeah? So they become one tribe. So you could have, say, in a business that does a lot, a fintech tribe, another one for lending, another one for, depending on what is ailing the business the most, what they're hearing from their customer.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So from the tribe, the tribe feeds into what?
The organizational mission.
So the tribe then fits into the organizational
mission.
So the tribe leader is called what?
A tribe lead.
Tribe lead.
Yes.
Okay. And the tribe lead reports to the business unit leader.
Yes, but they don't necessarily. So it's not about the old hierarchy.
It's like flattening the hierarchy.
Yes, what you're trying to
Love
do is
it.
flatten the hierarchy
Love it,
and
love
bring
it.
whoever you need to.
Love it.
Yes. So let me use another analogy, a fruit salad analogy. If our customers are asking for a certain type of salad, depending on what they're asking for, you will get an avocado, you get a banana, you get an apple, you get a pineapple. And then you mix them together so that the customer gets the taste that they want. So those different fruits are the skill sets or the crafts that the business needs to give a certain outcome.
Nice.
So these crafts do not have to report into a tribe lead.
Okay.
They actually cannot, because the tribe lead is a business leader, and these guys are from technology. They're from different business units. You'll have a credit specialist. You'll have a customer experience specialist, who it will not make sense for them to report to a business leader that might not even be from their...
Agreed.
Yeah, so it calls
Agreed.
for leadership at all levels. If I come in and I'm a back-end engineer, I come in knowing that the skill set I'm bringing into the tribe, I am the leader in that skill set. A customer journey expert coming into the tribe to lead the tribe in customer journey experience knows this tribe is going to be as good at customer experience as I bring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a senior manager at
Yes.
KCB now.
Yes.
Let me ask you, if as a coach, if you enter into an organization that still operates in the old hierarchical way, how long would an organization take, give or take, how long will it take to actually, for it to be transformed into an agile organization?
So transformation is a journey. It'll never end. And I know leaders do not like to hear that, but for as long as there is...
I'm one of those guys who completely understands that. I love that response.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. All the coaches clap for Ali. So for as long as there is going to be an aspect of improvement, that journey must continue.
Okay.
You start where you are. That's why you can't say organization so-and-so is now agile and they do not need it anymore. There's always going to... You start with where you are, whether you think you're still rigid and command and control oriented,
Yes.
or you think you are agile enough.
So please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
I mean, I see quite a number of organizations that now say they've embraced. So let's not talk about whether they are now agile, they are ready or what, but they have embraced agile. Okay?
Yeah.
From point zero to the point where an organization says we are now agile and we've embedded it into our culture and in a way that we are actually working. It's not just talk. It's not just corporate talk for PR purposes, but it's actually working.
Yeah.
What's the time span for that, in your experience?
It will never be the same because organizations are different.
Correct.
Why? Because the people are the DNA and they're all different.
Correct.
Also, different organizations operate in different environments.
Yes.
So, for instance, in banking, the regulations are so stringent that they might not be able to run at the speed of, say, a startup fintech.
Yeah. Look, Carol,
Yeah.
let me disagree with you there.
Uh-huh.
Because fintechs today are also regulated.
Yes.
Yeah? So I'm always sort of having this intellectual conversation with my friends in the banking sector. Mm-hmm. And my ultimate response is simply this. Please, don't use regulation as a reason to not do the right things. Mm-hmm. For example, eKYC. Onboarding customers onto an app without me having to walk into a bank branch. Why is that so hard? So initially, I used to get responses like, oh, Ali, the central bank requests that you must have your IDs. And I'm asking, where in the central bank regulation does it say that I must come with a physical ID? Where? Mm-hmm. I never got a response to that. Now, increasingly, we are seeing banks onboarding virtually.
Yeah.
Without having to go to a bank, to a bank branch. And I'm happy to say that KCB is one of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are a few kinks here and there, but those are I am perfectly sure they are going to be resolved, right? Yes. So I just wanted to interject on the regulation thing because that is something very close to me. Yeah. As somebody who's championed policy and regulatory matters across industries for many years, this is something that I want to drill into executives and entrepreneurs every moment I get.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that.
Back to you.
So another thing about Agile is you don't wait to finish the whole meal before you serve it to your customers.
Okay.
You serve it iteratively.
Okay.
So if you have been served an app that has some gaps, they're serving it to you after a month or two. They're not serving it to you after 3 years of working on it. Meaning they want to listen and elicit a feedback loop from you. So they've cooked, served it to you, and that feedback you're giving is actually what is feeding back into what we call the backlogs of the product teams that are working on these products. So they feed it to you. It is not always going to be good feedback. I mean, there's no such thing as bad feedback. It is not always going to be pleasant.
I love that.
But they are expecting to hear from you so that they can fine-tune, go back to the kitchen again, fine-tune. Again, I use the analogy of food because we are Africans. And then you tell them,
our food, right?
I love food. Tell them there's too much salt or there's little salt or you need to remove the salt altogether. They go back to the kitchen and cook it. So that's actually the difference between how agile products are being developed now versus how we used to do it traditionally. So we're not waiting for a whole year to feed the nation. We are feeding the nation every so often.
Iteratively.
Yes, iteratively with incremental value.
So there's something that has always sort of interested me to understand how big organizations work. So let's take a new product, a new app, or a new service, right? And this service serves maybe 10,000 people.
Yeah.
All right? Out of those 10,000 people, a number of them will be giving feedback, good and bad and average.
Yeah.
How do you decide that this feedback is something that we need to actually take and make changes to the product. And how do you decide this? Okay, it's a negative, but if we wait, it will not hurt the customer, it will not hurt the product or service. Who makes those decisions?
The team as a whole. You know why? Because that team would have a commercial person with commercial acumen. So some of them are called commercial managers. It depends on which organization. But someone with commercial acumen is seated in the team who can tell you how viable this decision is. Someone with customer experience knowledge is seated inside the team. So they'll tell you, if you don't fix this one, we will lose 90% of our customers. Or if you fix this, it could sort us out, but it won't move the needle on our NPS or our customer experience. Then you have your technology team in there, and they'll tell you, we can't fix this because we would need to overhaul the whole product. Oh, this is actually another product they're asking for. Because sometimes customers give feedback on a product and you realize there's another need behind that. So you take that decision to the team because there is a concoction of skill sets inside that team that will help you make a holistic decision. And remember, the teams are also not sitting in silos. We still have our executives and we still have our CEOs who also plug in to see what the teams are doing.
That's correct.
Yes, for guidance. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But
sorry, go on.
But you cannot underscore the magnitude of a difference that cross-functional teams play. Because
Agreed.
Imagine an organization that does not have cross-functional teams. So you talk to the legal person one day, and then the next day you go talk to the banker, and then the next day you go talk to technology. They're not seated together. They don't understand what you're saying. This one speaks code. The other one talks revenue. The other one talks NPS. So when you have them all seated together, you have a holistic team. So my simple answer would be take it to the team.
Agreed. So just one last thing on that one.
Yeah.
Is it a majority rules decision, or is it a decision that is sensible? And what do I mean by this? So let's say you have 10,000 customers. 6,000 of them are speaking about the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you drill deep into it, you're like, nah. And then one or two come with something so fundamental that you've not thought about, but that could be a game changer.
Yeah.
Which one do you give priority? I know that's a tough question, but which one do you give priority?
It's a tough question because there's no right answer to it. It will have to be a collective decision. There's something, the word is escaping me. Mandela used to use it. Something democracy. It's escaped me. But it means you listen to everybody.
Yes,
and you
can
weigh.
Google it as we continue. Yes.
Yes, but you listen to everyone because their skill sets make them unique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's now come to the M-PESA Daraja.
Yeah.
I'm really, really keen. I have never really sat down with somebody in depth, one-to-one, at Agile Coach level to get an understanding how that was achieved. Because I think as Kenyans, we sometimes don't appreciate the role that Daraja played in our financial services ecosystem. And I'm not talking about just fintech. I'm talking about financial services ecosystem. Banks, fintechs, insurance companies, brokers, the whole ecosystem. How we have become so dependent on that platform is shocking.
I'm not sure how much I can talk about that platform.
Okay, just talk what you can talk about in terms of from an agile perspective.
Yeah. So I think from an agile coaching perspective and from a cross-functional team perspective, they saw a need to look at what the market was saying in terms of, so how can we partner with external developers to move further and to move into areas that as an organization you can't move into.
Okay.
So you start asking yourselves, who are our customers really? And you find out that developers are also customers. So you start to listen to them. You start to pick their pain points. You start to document those pain points and put them into your backlogs, and one by one eliminate the pain points. Then developers become sticky to you, and they cannot divorce themselves from you because their jobs and their ecosystem and their livelihoods become so dependent on you. Why? Because you listened to them, you showed them how to get over the issues that were stumbling blocks, you gave them your expertise, but really you just listened to them and you adapted. Sometimes the developers actually tell you what is wrong with your platform. And some of them even become like the masterminds of how to engineer a better
Co-creation.
platform. Yes, co-creation, collaboration. I think that's the winning source.
Absolutely. And just to emphasize the point that you just said, you know, a couple of days ago, I was talking about how to build a moat in 2025. And you've just explained it in like less than 2 minutes. Exactly, because we are here today. No financial services player in Kenya today can operate without that platform. Am I lying? Am I not lying?
No, it's true.
How did we get there? You know, so it's those sort of insights that are really crucial to grow our ecosystem. Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your role in the digitization of the land registry.
Yeah.
And I know this is political. It sort of tends to become a little bit political. So please, let's just talk from a technical perspective.
Yes. So that was...
And how Agile assisted in that.
That was about 10 years ago. I was not even an Agile coach.
You were not even an Agile coach.
So perhaps it was what triggered me to find new ways of working.
I love that. I love that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the pre and what triggered. Yes.
So imagine as a project manager, you receive a tender for this huge nationwide project. You pick it up and immediately you start talking to people, because that's what project managers do. You talk to people. You go in and you talk to a solution architect. Solution architect, I need us to envision end-to-end what this will look like. And what you're expecting from them is a definite solution design that is intricate and detailed from that one person. Then after that, you go in and look for your building engineers. So if it is hardware that needs to be built, if it is software that needs to be built, if it is virtual machines that need to be configured, if it is a data center that needs to be apportioned for the project, you start talking to those people. Then after that, you go looking for your SMEs, the people who will help you integrate all these parts together. By that time, the customer is fuming mad because they had promised someone somewhere that by next week we will be up and running. So fast forward to now, as an Agile coach, that would not be a problem. Because why? The minute the business comes in, and sometimes even the squad itself goes looking for the business. But the minute the business comes in, my solution architect is seated here. My integration engineers are seated here. I even have a commercial analyst with me. I have a UX person with me. Everybody is brainstorming the same solution. And we build together, we plan together, and we don't expect to know everything at the beginning. The needs that emerge later, we are agile enough or flexible enough to pick them up and bend without breaking. So I think my days as a traditional project manager pushed me towards this. Yeah.
So you are seeing tremendous differences.
Yes.
And how things operated in traditional project management to the way Agile
changes things. Yeah.
So now let's go way back. What motivated you to become the Carol Thuo that we know today? Project manager, tech, talking about, eloquently talking about agile, like an African dancer and the tunes behind. Talk to us about your story.
I had a certain leader in our department. He said he listened, was to Satya Nadella, Microsoft.
Satya Nadella,
Yes.
Microsoft CEO.
Yes, and he gave him a challenge and told them, in the next 5 years, the job that you hold right now either will be unrecognizable or it won't exist. And I feel like that happened to light a light bulb in me. Because then I started looking at different ways of doing things, and I started interacting with different crafts. So as I work with cloud engineers, I would get interested in what they're doing. As I work with security experts, I get interested into cybersecurity. And the culmination of that all led me to a point where when I'm in a room with people who have different skill sets, I thrive. And I feel like I'm sort of a translator. I did not have a word for it back then. I could translate when you're talking business.
Across different.
Yes. For instance,
I love it.
If a product manager is talking about a rag status, so red, amber, green, I don't know whether you use that to show the... And maybe a machine learning engineer is talking about, what is it called? RAG, something augmented. Either way, I'll be able to help them and coach them into a situation where they speak the same language.
Yeah, too often people in tech speak, each one of them speaks a different language, and guys are just glazed over.
Yes. So without the presence of a coach to help you understand each other, the meaning is lost.
So that is like when you've already started working. Let's go way back.
Yeah.
School, college, your first job, and those triggers, those things that I'm particularly interested because I'm a father of daughters, 3 daughters. One of them already knows what she's doing. She's already a practicing doctor, and she's doing her master's. But I have 2 other daughters, who I would love to be able to, for them to hear some of these stories, Over to you.
Expose them. I think exposure is...
Correct.
Is the right thing.
Correct.
Exposure is the right thing. I think back in my previous employment, we had a program called Women in Technology, and it would take care of girls at every juncture of life. So, for instance, preschool children, and I think it still happens. I think I saw a Lego coding event for kids. So they go in and they are taught robotics using Legos.
Interesting.
The toys. Then at primary school level, you go in and tell them girls can be anything they want to be. Expose them to people who are already engineers, who are already scientists, who are already in the field, doing product management in software industry, network industry. Then at high school is where it's very critical because that's where they're now choosing what subjects. I think in our time, I don't remember anybody ever coming from telecom or there was only telecom. Telecom, or let's say KPLC, to come and
Telecom
tell
Kenya.
us. Yes, Telecom Kenya to let us know.
Kenya Post and Telecommunications Corporation.
Yes.
My God.
Yes. And interesting fact, both my parents worked at Kenya Post and Telecommunications. So I saw motherboards in our house.
That's interesting.
Yes. So I think that exposure and letting them know it's interesting and it's not just for boys, and encouraging them, intentionally encouraging girls to go into STEM and STEM-related and solution-related careers.
Science,
technology,
engineering,
yes, maths, yes.
But now there's an A at the end. STEMA or STEAM.
It's for arts. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly what you've said.
Yeah.
You know, as an orchestrator, you've got to understand how the beats are going. When somebody's offbeat, somebody is dancing to a different tune. This one is dancing to another tune.
Yes.
There's that humanity. There's that art thing that is neither science or no, but that's innate.
That is innate, yes.
As a human being.
It is true. So another fun fact, I also did Bachelor of Arts for my first degree. I was very interested in IT, but back then, and I think I will tell my age a bit if I say,
that's okay.
if I tell this story.
That's okay.
Back then.
You look 16 to me, so don't worry.
Oh, thank you. Back then, to get into MOI, where Bachelor of, was it even being called IT? Or
BBIT.
IS, Information Systems. So the year I finished school, I think a lot of people got A's. I got a B+, which I'm very proud of.
Okay.
But I was not able to get into that degree course.
The tech?
Yes, the tech course.
Okay.
And I knew I had to do a regular course.
Okay.
I had to go into, we used to call it JAB. Yes. So, but
so you did your Bachelor of Arts?
I did my Bachelor of Arts,
and
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
In what?
In sociology.
Sociology,
Yes.
Nice.
And I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay.
And, but from my first employment at Oracle, I checked into tech, and from then on it was technology.
So you got into Oracle.
Yes.
Doing what? With your Bachelor of Arts? Your first job?
My first job.
Okay.
So I was in a direct sales team that had pre-sales engineers.
Oh, you've done sales?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic.
Yes. So it had pre-sales engineers and it had ERP solution architects. And I would make cold calls to English-speaking Africa, Middle Eastern Africa.
Cold calls?
Cold calls. Make sure
God.
you are an
what
enterprise.
Year was that?
That was 2007.
2007?
Yes.
Wow. No social media then. LinkedIn is just starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you really... Cold calls were
real
probably...
cold calls
yes,
on a landline.
Yes.
And find out what ERP you're using, use my persuasion skills to figure out what your issues are.
Out of 10 calls, how many would even listen to you?
You know, in 6 months, I had a 42% success rate. That even my boss, who used to sit in Dubai, was shocked at.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would get sales leads for the sales team by calling, figuring out what the problem
42%.
was. 42%.
That is super high.
Yeah.
What's the industry average?
I wish I'd done that homework.
It's less than 10%.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, those days without much data in the public domain, wow. That is impressive. Yes. So from Oracle?
From Oracle, that was a 7-month contract. Then they were not hiring. They had a global freeze on employment. So sadly, I had to leave.
That's actually a very strange number. 7-month contract. Who does that?
I don't know. Maybe I gave them too much success and they decided, we have what we need now.
Oh, gosh.
42%.
You filled their pipeline.
Yeah, they're like, problem solved. Okay. Let us,
Next.
So there was a startup back then that was offering ISP solutions, wireless internet. It was called One Communications.
Yes, I remember One Communications.
So I went in and I also now thoroughly enjoyed it because I
Sales also?
No. This time I was they're calling me a project coordinator.
Project coordinator.
So I was starting to talk to customers when they're coming in to ask for solutions. Interfacing with back-end teams, networking engineers, vendors. Back then, I think only Liquid and Jamii Telecom were offering fiber.
Okay.
So we had huge radios we would put on your house called Airspan radios.
I remember
WiMAX.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I did that until 2009 when Safaricom bought OneCom.
Yes.
And we moved over as
So that's how you got into Safaricom?
That was how I got to Safaricom.
Okay.
Yes.
And then from Safaricom, you grew.
Yes.
How many years at Safaricom?
14 years at Safaricom.
14 years.
Yes.
You were about to be amortized like an asset.
I was about to become a prop. But you know what? I really
But
appreciate
that must have
about-
been a very good foundation.
Yes, because the magnitude of the organization allowed me to work with enterprise, then consumer, then financial services, which is M-PESA, and then go back into technology again. I feel like I did
a good 360 cycle.
Till I thought to myself, let me take another challenge. Yeah.
You seem to love what you're doing.
I do.
What's the secret?
I think it fits into my picture of success and the values I have. So I value people, I value interactions. That is the bread and butter of my job. I sit with people, I talk to them, I listen at level 2. So level 1 is I hear what you're saying.
Level 1 and level 2?
Level 1
curious
is
about
I hear the words that you're saying. Level 2, I hear the words that you're saying, but I also watch you to understand where it's coming from.
So what we in Nairobi call nonverbal communication.
It's nonverbal communication and also listening, not to respond, but
Yes.
listening to understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please repeat that.
Listening, not to respond, but listening to understand.
That's profound.
Yeah.
Too many of us listen to respond,
Yes.
not to understand.
Yeah.
That's my take home for today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my take home for today. I love to talk, and sometimes I don't listen enough. I mean, I'm just being vulnerable here. So, back to your educational background. After your BA, what else did you do?
Oh, so I refer to myself as an academic. So I went back to school. I did my master's in project planning and management.
This as you were working?
Yes, as I was working in my very early years in Safaricom. Then after that, I now got into technology.
Okay.
So I went in and certified as a cloud practitioner.
Wow.
And then I also went into Cisco sales expert, which also assists you to understand networking, RPA and UiPath.
Yes.
Some courses on AI.
So you have all these professional
Professional certifications. Yes, but the ones I enjoyed the most now were the Agile ones. So I started off as a Prince 2 Agile practitioner, and then went into PMI Agile certified practitioner, professional Scrum Master 1 and 2, professional product owner. I don't know if this is Greek or I'm geeking out now.
No, it's not. I mean, I completely understand, but for my audience, you may want to basically,
explain.
Ali Talks Tech is about telling our own African stories.
Yes.
And it's about unpacking this to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. And I always like to take the lowest common denominator, where we are speaking to people, even if they understand or think they understand, they may get nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah.
Like what you've just said, that has stuck with me today. Listening to understand, not to respond.
Yeah.
I mean, that came out of you so flawlessly that I actually believe you actually believe it. It's not something you have practiced doing. And that is something that many of us in leadership need to internalize. We don't listen enough. We listen to respond. Yeah. So please, geek out.
Okay, so think of Agile as an umbrella. There are right now over 53 frameworks and methodologies under it. So you'll hear now under Agile, which is basically the mindset of iteratively and incrementally developing solutions with a short feedback loop to the customer. So there are 53 ways to do that right now, known. You'll hear about Scrum, you'll hear
53
Kanban.
ways.
Yes.
Whoa.
Scrum, you'll hear Kanban, you'll hear XP, design thinking, DevOps. So all those. So when I talk about the certifications, those are the ones I am referring to. But the work of an agile coach is not to feed you with the 53. Is to listen to the organization and the individuals and figure out which ways can I help these people become more agile, meaning become more responsive to customers, to market changes, to regulations, to each other's personalities. That is where the agile coaching comes in. Yeah, so I did deep dive into this majority of those 53, and that's the certification I was talking about. I've not done 53.
You've deep dived into the majority.
Dived into them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Carol.
Yes.
Do you sleep?
Yes, I do. 8 hours plus. In fact,
8 hours plus.
I am.
So you are one of those guys who time is of the utmost importance.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that you're utilizing this. I mean, doing almost all the 53.
Yeah.
So, if I had a crystal ball.
Mm-hmm. And you are Merlin the wizard.
Yes, and I'm Merlin the wizard. Or Kinjeketile from Tanzania.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see Carol 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Envision that for me. Please envision it, because the more you sort of envision it and work towards it, that's how you will get there.
So I believe what I am envisioning does not exist right now, I'm creating it. Just like that
but
leader
you are creating
I'm creating it. Using the skill sets that I'm picking up, the relationships that I'm building, the people I'm talking to, and the more I challenge myself. Yes. So I don't think it exists.
So, God willing, inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah.
If God gives us an opportunity to have this conversation again.
5 years.
5 years from now.
Yeah.
We'll be sitting here or somewhere like this, and we'll have the same conversation.